Good morning, my name's Alicia. Today we're going to review some basic breathing techniques you can use in your yoga practice. Whether you're at home or you're in a studio, there are different methods that you can use depending what you're doing and the activity that you're doing. The first one I'm going to start with for the term ocean breathing. I really like this, and we envision the waves being and the ocean being pulled back away from the shoreline, and then as the waves roll in, we're going to mimic that sound. So we begin with breathing in through your nostrils and exhaling through the mouth. We use the huh sound, and again mimicking that sound of the ocean waves crashing along the shoreline. You can keep your eyes open or closed. This is a great one to kind of get into a meditative practice. One thing that I want you to keep in mind is you are welcome to set your own pace at this. So I will demonstrate, we'll go through about 4 cycles here. But if your pace doesn't fully match mine, that's okay. What you want to keep is that full inhale through the nose and then out through the mouth. And that's your ocean breathing. Remember to relax the shoulders, relax the neck muscles, and really just sit into your practice. And the next one we're going to do is an alternate nostril breathing. This is good for symmetry from your left to your right side. It's good in the beginning of your practice, but really any of these breathing techniques can be used beginning, middle, end. You can use different ones to start and different ones to end, but I'd like you to have the information on the different styles. So with the alternate nostril breathing, I like to keep 2 fingers on the forehead, and then you're going to use your thumb to close the one side, either way, and then these fingers to close the other. So what we'll do is alternate. You're going to breathe through, closing off the right side, breathing through on the left, then closing off the left, exhaling on the right, and then we'll breathe in on the right again and exhale on the left. And we'll do roughly 4 cycles. This is my little Jeannie. She likes to downward dog. All right, so fingertips in the third eye chakra, right in the center of the forehead here. Thumb over the nostril either way. And we're going to breathe in, inhale. Close off the left side, exhale. Through the nostril, not through the mouth. And then inhale on the right. Closing off the right, exhale on the left. Inhale on the left. Closing. Exhale on the right. Inhale. Switch sides. Exhale. Inhale on the left. Close it off. Exhale. And that's your alternate nostril breathing. Again, the idea is that we're creating symmetry between sides. You'll notice I'm a little more congested on the right than the left. It really lets you know where you may have differences from one side to the other. And it brings symmetry between the left and right side. So it's very good. I like this one at the beginning of a practice. So the next type of breathing that we're going to do is what's called diaphragmatic breathing. Our diaphragm is the muscle that sits right below the rib cage here. It kind of attaches to your bottom ribs, goes the whole way back around. And it's the muscle that divides kind of our upper chest to our organs in the lower part of the body. The diaphragm, it's super important to keep this muscle strong. And this muscle contracts when we breathe in, and then when we exhale, it relaxes. So this type of breathing is great during your entire practice. This is great to keep this muscle strong because where it attaches on the top side of the rib cage, a lot of our low back muscles attach to the lower part of the rib cage. So if we keep the diaphragm and use our breathing to expand the rib cage here, contract that diaphragm muscle, it allows those muscles in your back to relax. So this is my favorite technique to teach. As a physical therapist assistant, I use this technique a lot, but this is fantastic in your yoga practice. Typically when you start this, you can do it in a seated position. It's also sometimes easier if you lay on your back. So to start, I like to keep the knees bent. You can prop them up. You're going to put one hand on your chest, one hand on your belly. When you breathe, you are not raising the chest. You want to keep that stationary, and you want to elevate and push out the belly. So we're going to inhale. Exhale. You can breathe in through your nose and out through your nose, or you can breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth, whatever is most comfortable to you. The key is that we are not inhaling and rising that chest, but only the belly area. Now, as you become more comfortable in this practice, you can do it seated. When you're laying down, it's a little easier to see the rise and fall and to use your hands to check that you're not elevating the shoulders. But a lot of times, a lot of us breathe and we use all these accessory muscles. We use the muscles, our traps, all these other muscles in through the rib cage here that help elevate it, but there are secondary muscles. They're not supposed to be working as hard as what our diaphragm is. So the stronger we keep the diaphragm, also the better oxygen and carbon dioxide exchange we're going to get. It's going to be better for us overall. So again, you can do this seated, hand on the chest, hand on the belly. We breathe in, pushing out the belly, and none of our upper accessory muscles should be working. When we blow out, all we're doing is letting that diaphragm relax. So let's do a few cycles here. Breathe in. And breathe out. And that's diaphragmatic breathing. This one you can use, like I said, in all different parts of your practice, but this is a good strengthening of that muscle, and it is good for your overall health, and this will help your upper extremity muscles relax. And the last style breathing we're going to do today is a 3-part breathing. And this is really to get the full expansion in the lungs, to really fill them up. People that struggle with breathing, this is a great practice to have. Now, one thing with any of these breathing techniques is to make sure that you're not getting lightheaded or dizzy. You can always stop in between the breathing. So we did 4 cycles here, but you do one, you feel a little lightheaded, take a break, go back to your regular breathing cycle, and then do it again. So again, pace yourself, set your own pace. You can stop and start the video. So 3-part breathing. We're going to breathe in, inhale fully, expanding that diaphragm, but then we're going to keep breathing and think about filling up the lungs, coming up into the rib cage and then up into that upper part of the lungs and into the chest. And then we exhale everything until we let that diaphragm fully relax. So again, 3-part breathing, breathing into the diaphragm, then the rib cage, and then upper. And fully exhale. This one takes a bit, and again, you might get a little lightheaded with this. It's not, our normal breathing cycles are a little bit slower. So take your time with this one and experiment and do a couple short regular breaths in between. So we're going to do a few cycles of this with just a couple normal breathing techniques in between. So inhale fully into the diaphragm, up into the rib cage, and then the upper part of the chest. Exhale, and then a few natural breaths. And again, inhale fully into the rib cage, upper chest. Exhale. Anyone who has problems and any COPD, asthma, this is a great way to really, again, fully inflate the lungs and take advantage of fully using the entire area. Another time, inhale full into the diaphragm, up into the rib cage. Use those accessory muscles, upper chest, and exhale. And those are our breathing techniques for today. I hope you enjoyed this video and find it helpful in your practice. The light in me bows down to the light in you. Namaste. Enjoy.